We do say that we do not do this for the views. And I know had I made this video 2-3 days ago, it would have got a lot more potential viewership. But I'm not here for the drama. I'm not here to create Kalesh. Kalesh is like fighting and war and that type of stuff. I'm just here to say my opinion and then peace out, deuces, leave. So, what's happened now is that there has been more and more censorship online. It starts with a trickle and then it becomes a flood. In this case, this is the most ridiculous, in my opinion, mass censorship of a person I can think of. Like, this is pretty ridiculous, considering the fact that the person in question hasn't really done anything to the level of which you would think you should be banned off of all social media, potentially payment platforms as well. I just don't get it. So Andrew Tate was banned, basically off of the internet. The whole thing is being wiped of him periodically. Do I like the guy? No. Do I think he's a dickhead? Yes. Do I think most of his opinions are absolutely obtuse and abhorrent? Correct. Correct. Can he be funny? Also. He's a character, okay? Sometimes he says funny shit. He's charismatic to a degree. But, even though I disagree with him on 90% of things, he shouldn't be banned. That's insane. You can't have nuanced opinion nowadays. It's impossible to have. But where do you go from Andrew Tate being banned off of all social media platforms? Like, the Taliban are still on social media. They're still out there posting memes. Posting memes. What's going on in the world when you have terrorist organizations being able to be on the internet and social media publicly for everyone to see and interact with, and this guy who is a dickhead, but that's pretty much it, is not allowed to be in the park, not allowed to play. Now, he's been accused of being a sexist, a racist, a homophobe, a transphobe, all these things. But from the things I've watched of him, I really don't think he's racist. I don't think he's homophobic either. He is most definitely sexist, alright? He's most definitely sexist. 100%. But is that enough? Like, is that enough to get banned forever? I don't know. There have been people who've done a lot worse stuff than say stupid shit that is sexist towards women. In that case, like 80% of all comedians would have to be banned forever. And I'm including female ones because they say stupid shit about men and women as well all the time. And in my opinion, it's funny. You need to take the risk of offending to be able to make a joke. You need to take the risk of offending to say anything in the world. You don't know if someone's going to pick you up on something and say, hey, that pissed me off. If you don't say it, you don't know. I understand that there are specific instances where you might be aware, don't say the N-word, right? But other than that, and other than very few really out there examples, it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't. You need to say things to be able to gauge whether you're allowed to say things. I don't think Andrew Tate was in that boat. I'm talking about comedians here. But I do think there have been many other people across the entertainment industry at a minimum who've done unimaginably worse things. You look at Eminem. You look at Jay-Z. Like, should these guys be allowed to have the platforms they have if Andrew Tate's being banned for being a misogynist? Being overtly anti-women is the argument. Eminem has made homophobic, sexist remarks for years. Now he doesn't. He's older. Maybe now he's learned. Jay-Z's the same. Even when you look at specific religious sects and you say this is radical, whether it's Christian fundamentalism, whether it's radical Islam, it doesn't matter what it is. The fact of the matter is, a lot of this stuff is online for people to digest and take in. How is that stuff allowed online, but for some reason Andrew Tate isn't? Because what these people are saying in their beliefs is parallel and perpendicular in some ways to what Tate's saying, right? They believe that women should be in the kitchen. They believe that women should just be there to give birth to lots of children. They believe women should be subjugated and be the playthings of men. This is what certain sects of Islam and certain very fundamentalist sects of Christianity believe. all right, among other religions. But if they can say that stuff on YouTube, on Facebook, and it doesn't get flagged, and it's allowed to be there because it's on religious grounds, then how on earth is Tate not allowed to say what he wants? It's just weird, because eventually his star will fade and he will not be particularly important in the world. But you doing this has just caused many more people to go and see exactly what the hell he's talking about and say, you know what, I agree with some of this. And it's inherent, because you're going to agree with some things that most people say, but you're not going to agree with everything. And that's called life, and that's called being an adult. And I should be able to distinguish what I shouldn't take and what I can understand and what I believe is right. I should be able to distinguish that. I don't need social media to tell me that and to do that for me. I'm not a baby. I don't need to be spoon-fed. It's just ridiculous. The problem is, if someone like Tate can get banned, that means everyone can get banned. People would argue that I'm going to a really, really far extreme with that statement, but it's not. I understand you having to ban certain people. You can't allow everyone on the site. But you should allow 99.9999% of them. Because unless they're literally advocating violence, I don't really think you should be banned. That's why the Taliban should be banned. But Tate, he's not being convicted of anything. Yes, he's been investigated, but who hasn't been investigated? Who hasn't? Who hasn't been investigated? But unless you've been convicted of something, which in this case is supposedly trafficking, which if that is confirmed, it seems like it's pretty shady, all right? It seems shady, but it's not confirmed, so I can't speak on it, all right? I'm not here to get sued by anyone. Just not gonna happen anytime soon. But I just think that you can very easily slide down the road to just banning absolutely everyone, because everyone's got stuff on their Twitter, on their Facebook from back in the day, right? I do understand that that sounds like I'm doing some whataboutery argument. I just think most people shouldn't be banned. You should allow people to put their opinions out there and for them to be countered with better opinions, all right? With better facts, with statistics, and then you can put to bed that person and let them die, essentially, in their relevancy. But Andrew Tate should not be banned. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Hey, we live in the marketplace of ideas. If people can put forward a better argument, a better thought process than Andrew Tate, and it's not that hard, then just let that stay there and people to go to it to say, oh, there's actually a progression from that line of thinking. Like, I'm sure 80% of under 16-year-olds think the way Andrew Tate thinks. All right? That's just a fact. That's just a fact. 16-year-olds are savage as fuck. They are balls to the wall. They don't care. They've got their whole life to live, but they don't realize it's just a very odd situation being 16, all right? Whether you're a boy or a girl. But lads, generally, pricks. Generally. All right? It's just what it is. And it's fun. And it's part of being youthful, and it's part of saying stupid shit. But you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And in this case, I think there's a lot of people playing a lot of different games and winning a lot of stupid prizes. Should Andrew Tate be saying the stuff he says? No. Should he be banned for it? No. It's that simple.